Okay, so on this question, they're wanting us to solve. It's a square root problem. It's kind of a tricky one. Bring it down here. Whoops, didn't have my tool on there. So we have the square root of x minus 3 there. And we have, I'm going to change this problem to make it more interesting. And so instead of, let me see, instead of a minus 1 in front, I'm going to put a, make that more interesting. I'm going to put a minus 7 in front. There we go. So I'm going to make this more interesting question. There we go. Because you might get a version like this that's harder. So I want to make it as hard as possible so I can show how to do it. Okay, in the worst possible scenario. So, all right, so how do we solve? How do we solve? So solving a square root with an equals. That's the name of the game here, right? We have a square root and we have an equal sign. How do we solve those? Well, the first step is always to get the root alone. So to get the root alone, I'm going to add 2 to both sides. Let's do that. And boom, boom. And then one down here. And I've got minus 7 square root of x minus 3, right? Just bring this on down. Equals, and what do these two make? Minus 3, it looks like. Okay. The root's not alone yet. One more step. We've got to divide both sides by the minus 7. Boom, boom, like that. And now the square root's alone. And now, here's the problem. When you divide this on your calculator, which you should do, you're going to get positive, right? 2 negatives make a positive, and you're going to get a decimal that like goes forever. What are you going to do? It goes, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to suggest use 5 decimals. That's plenty. Really, probably 4 is enough. But I'm going to use 5 decimals, or 5 or more. So you just have to have enough. I tested. I know up here it says integer or reduced fraction. Let me add or decimal. I tested it myself. It will take a decimal. It will take a decimal as long as you have it accurate to, I think, more than just a couple places. So just to be safe, use 5 or more decimal places. The decimal goes forever. Do you understand what I'm saying? My decimal, it didn't really stop here. It went on 1, 4, 2, 8, 6, blah, 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 blah. It goes forever. The decimal actually goes forever. So use 5 or more decimals. 5 or more, and you'll be good. Okay. So we got the square root alone. That was step number 1, the root's alone. All right. What is the second step? You're going to do parenthesis 2 power, both sides. That's what we do next. So I'm going to come in and go parenthesis 2 power, parenthesis 2 power. So then what's going to happen? Over here, we're going to have, the 2 power always makes 2 of everything, as you know quite well, I'm sure. It makes 2, whoops, let's stay with the same color there. 2 of these x minus 3s. And the other side, it's going to make 2 of these 0.42857 things. Like that. Okay. And so when you do that, what comes next? Well, this is going to be just x minus 3, right? Because remember, 2 inside of the root leads to 1 outside the root. That's how roots always work, right? You know that. They're a 2-for-1 deal, aren't they? Like shopping at Target, things are on sale 2-for-1. You know the square root of 5 times 5 is just a single 5, right? Because 2 5s in leads to 1 5 out. That's why the square root of 25 is just 5, because 25 is 2 5s multiplied, and the square root of 25 is 5 because 2 5s in is 1 5 out. That's how square roots always work. So 2x minus 3s in the root leads to 1x minus 3 out of the root. So that's what happens on the left side. Now on the right side, there's no square roots. So you're just going to multiply them. So just take that 0.42857 times 0.42857 equals, and I'm getting 0.183 6, 7, and it actually goes on, 2, 2, 4, no, just use 5 decimals. Good enough. Don't worry about the rest. Just use 5 decimals. Really, you don't even need to round. Just stop after 5. That's enough accuracy. Now let's finish up. So now what do we do? Step 3. Solve for x. How do we finish solving for x? We got to get x alone. Well, we're going to add 3. Right? This is not an x squared problem. Notice, right? We don't have x squared, so we don't have to do the get a 0 factor thing. That's when you have x squared. But if you just have regular x, just get it alone. Just add 3 to both sides. That's gone. And we just get x alone. And then add 3, you're going to get 3.18367. And that's your answer. Now, normally we check these things, right? If you're an astute student, you're probably thinking, shouldn't we check, Mr. Aaron? Don't we have to check? Technically, yes, any problem beginning with a square root, and an equal sign must be checked. Now you could. I'm telling you, the problem with the check here is because we rounded the decimal. So let me write, yes, you must check by plugging in the answer to the original, right? So let me go ahead and do it. Let me show you. Now, it's not going to come out exactly right because this is not the exact answer, right? It's a rounded answer. We started rounding, right up here. So no, as I do this check, if it comes out very, very, very close to correct, it really is correct because we rounded. It's not the exact answer. So it's not going to come out exactly right when we check. It's very close to the exact answer. So the check should come out very close to true. Okay, so how do you check? You grab the original. So I'll grab the original here. Bring it on down. It's -7 square root of x minus 3. So bring it on down here. So it's going to be -7 square root of x minus 3. I forgot the rest. A minus 2 equals -5. So let me take this and plug it in right there. Okay, so what are we going to get? -7 square root of, and I'll plug that number in. 3, whoops, too long here. 3.18367, which is again not the exact answer. It's rounded, it's close. Okay, just keep reminding you that. So this is -7 times the square root. So subtract those. You're going to get 0.18367 minus 2 is -5. Okay, and so then hit the buttons on your calculator. Literally on your calculator, hit -7 times that. -7 times the square root of 0.18367. And I'm getting, I do that, -2.99997. I'm just going to go 5. There's more decimals, but I'm only going 5. -2 is -5. That was all in the calculator. I just took my calculator right here. Took my calculator and I multiplied those together. I literally just took -7 times the square root of the 0.18367. Just like that. And when I did, right here on my calculator, I got this. So what do they make? Putting those together, if you subtract that, now do this, continue on your calculator, you get -4.99997 equals -5. Now, does that really equal -5? No, but it's very, very close, isn't it? -4.99997. See what I mean? That's a yes. This answer is approximately right. See how it's not exactly right? It doesn't exactly check, but it's super close because this is super close to the right answer. That's what I warned you about. It's not going to come out exactly the same, but it's going to come out very, very close, which means it's really the right answer. It's just not exactly right, but it's very, very close. Type this answer in. I already checked the problem. They will take it. So there we go.